Let's finish up the Deep Sea Explorer Submarine by Lego City. This is set number 60379. Contains, I believe, 845 bricks. Retails for $109.99. And it was provided to me by the Lego Group for early review. And remember in the last installment, we did the minifigures, this little mech thing, and we did part of the submarine. Well, today we're going to finish the whole build up. So let's move all this out of the way. And so far, like I said, I did the unboxing. I wasn't too thrilled with the parts. And building it's a little different issue. It's actually enjoyable, so that kind of thing. And we have our sticker sheet here with just 2 stickers remaining. And we are going to continue on with bag 5. So let's get started. And looks like we're adding stuff to the side of the submarine. Get myself situated here. And yeah, I've been spending my Memorial Day doing Lego set reviews. It's not really my favorite thing, I'm being honest. And I mentioned it in the Lego community about I'm not really into building sets. I'm just kind of getting bored and about got my head bit off just because I said that. And I wonder if there's another one on the other side of this here. And I thought, I'm just checking here. Oh, they're mirrors. Well, we're going to speed right through this. But I was like, I don't need to bite my head off. It's just when you do them back to back, it's not like I bought this set and I can build it whenever I feel like it. Somehow, So yeah, I'm already starting with another complaint. And I'm like, I'm not into mass building like one after the other. So, I don't know. I just miss when doing YouTube videos was so simple, and then more people think this is my full-blown career. All right, It's taken the fun out of the hobby. That's why now I just do reviews as a job type thing. Okay, now in bag 5, it looks like we're doing the sides of the submarine. Here's the deal: you don't have to do what I'm doing here by any means. I'm mirroring things because it'd be a lot faster to build this than to, do it. Okay, look on the other side, I just have to flip it. So this piece here is essentially done. So that's our thing. We gotta hold our submarine like this. And it looks like this goes about right there. That's what the book is calling. And so I'm just going to stick that in here, which leads to this side. Well, that would just be over here now, like that. So that saves me a bunch of time there. Now we're going to have to put some stickers on this next stuff, so this is going to be a little more challenging. All right. So, been kind of tinkering around with a new tutorial, and I hate when you get stuck on something. You're like, how do I solve this problem? And you're kind of stumped, and then you find a solution. Okay, fine. And we mentioned this back in the last installment. I'm like, okay, I think these parts exist in this color. I have to look. No, not one piece existed in the colors that I needed. Matter of fact, not even an alternative color would work. And that's when I thought, well, even white, one of my most common colors, the part just didn't exist. So what do? I don't know yet. It's going to be one of those tutorials that I'm going to have to probably cake on the back burner. It's like I said, my mind is hot, but it's not too... I'm going to put these up like this. but it's not to the point where I can make a piece. You know? So, got a mosquito in here again, huh? Hope he lands. Wait a minute, hold on, I made a mistake. No, I didn't. It's just a dark blue tile that goes in there. I'm just gonna stick these plates in there now. But I was like stumped on this thing, but it looks really good. I did it in stud and it looks really good. Oh, I should have these. Okay, I didn't have them in my inventory. Oh, I can just order the parts. Not a big deal. You know, I got a better idea. We're gonna have to put the sticker. Why don't I just put the sticker on like this? But I thought, oh, I have the, okay, I don't have the parts. I'll just order them. Okay, the parts just don't exist. So guess what? It does me no good. So that's how it is. That's what we got to put in there, and I think that's sticker number 2. 2 or do, depends on if you're in English or French. Okay. But yeah, I was like, man, and I thought, I just can't wait to get this done because I got to do the building guide still on the boat project that I did. And then I have to, God, these stickers are getting harder to put on every day. I can't even get this one on here. And let me try it the other way then. But I just want to get back into the customs. But don't get me wrong though, there's some nice parts out of these sets that I can harvest for my own builds. Boy, this is just, if I have to fight to get these on here, Lego, and they're getting crooked, I'm gonna ding off a point. But at least we're done with that. But I'm just kind of, I'm getting burned out, just flat out, plain and simple. Okay, this one goes here. Okay, not too bad, huh? So I was going to work on those lights today, and I thought, well, I have a lot of these videos I have to edit. I have to get them going now. And like right now, I have literally hours before this one has to be done, and I'm not even done with, not this one, but with another set. And I'm just, I can't take any more Lego sets. You know, I'm kind of getting worn out of doing them. Of course, I can just deny offers too, but sometimes I'll get an offer and I'm like, oh, these have got some nice parts. This set would be great for a good harvest. And then I would go for it. And so is it really worth it? I don't know. And these are pretty, these are equal right now. And but for the most part, I'm already getting burned out of doing Lego sets. You know, my mind is confined to a building guide, you know, versus I look at some of these parts and I'm thinking, oh, these would work good in a mock. Well, I have to wait until I do the review before I can even get to it. And once the review's published and I fill out all my paperwork, then I can take the set apart and then use the parts out of it for my own builds. Just have to wait it out. It's like I got a good idea. I've been mentioning about the Michael Myers house, and I'd like to get that done by this summer. Haven't had any offers yet, thank goodness. Even if they did, it would be 2 weeks, and I may have to start declining some just so I can do my own thing here. Okay, these go on top of this now. Jay, it sounds like they overwork you. Well, they just give you a bunch of product. You know, usually when I'm doing work for clients, I know what I can handle. So if I'm overloaded with, usually I can do 2, no more than 3 projects at a time when I'm, you know, programming something. But sometimes, you know, I'll accept a project, next thing another one comes up, it's the bid is just right, and it's like, okay, I'm already doing 2, I guess I can squeeze another one in there, and then just to earn a little extra cash and get a little bit more experience. It's a lot of work. And once I sign in the deal, that's it. I have to follow it. I can't just leave a client hanging. Alrighty, and then the tile goes in here. And I think these are just duplicates here. That's pretty much what those are. You know, I mean, looks like a phone receiver, like for an old phone. And then okay, this thing goes back down. It's even with this right here in the front. So I'm making sure nothing's going to cave in on me here. That just refuses to go in. I'm trying to wiggle it in there, but I feel like I'm going to break it. Let's open that up, see if I can squeeze it on the walls there. There we go. Now, it's on there. And we'll do this next one. I'll leave that open too. There we go. Not too bad so far. Okay, and then we can skip all that nonsense there, because now we're done with that. And that's it for bag 5. And yeah, we didn't have one piece left. All right, let's see what kind of parts we got in here in bag 6. And well, looks like something a little different here. I think we're not quite done with this yet because we, well, got a big hole there. So we're gonna try to see if we can get that filled in, and we're gonna need to work on more of this here. We've got this nice little thick dome piece too. It's somewhat in pristine condition, and just taking little breathers to get caught up on videos. Like right now I'm editing an unboxing video, or not editing but indexing it. It means I watch the video, I proof it, make sure everything is, you know, if I say something correctly or mispronounce something or that kind of thing. And I think that goes like that. So you want to stick your fingers in there and kind of just mush that down in there very carefully, because you got this thing here in the way. So we got that on the bottom. Yeah, so that's pretty much what I'm doing. I need to stick something in here to kind of let the air get behind that viewfinder, because that thing is what's making that camera so hot. And then I'll put this in here too. Not sure what that's about. See if I can get you a better view of that there, where it even makes sense for me. There you go. So I'm taking my time. I don't want to crunch it in or anything like that. And tonight I had barbecue trout, some steak fries, and Brussels sprouts. Yum, 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 yum. No beef. I'm like, no beef today. I am done. And then there we go. Maybe we're going to add some wheels to the bottom of this, and you can drive the submarine around on the freeway, huh? Well, we got some glider plates now. Well, what was the point of these for then, huh? Just to beef it up? And do we have a part quota we're trying to achieve here? Yeah, but in addition to doing the unboxing video proofing, I'm also working on a thumbnail for the same video, the same set, but I'm also working on that for part 2 of a build and then the review. Anyway. So I don't know when this is going to be released. I can't just tell you. And yeah, let's see. Is there just one of these or two? There's 2 towers. Okay, they're mirrors. Okay, well, we're going to do that in mirrors, as I don't want to spend all day doing that. And yeah, we need to put some of these on here on the bottom. Okay. Always mirror your stuff off. If you don't want to do this, you do not have to do what I'm doing. And let's see here. Then it wants me to rotate them like that. Makes the light nice pretty green, huh? Yellow and blue make green. Not sure how far that's supposed to shove in, but it goes all the way up to the shoe glider plate. So maybe that's where it's supposed to go. And after that, then we put a plate, and we're reversing. No, we're not reversing. I thought we were reversing the direction, but no, we're not. And now I got to put this like that. I'm putting it with the pointed side down. That's what they're asking for. And I don't know how critical that is. So the best thing to do is to follow the building guide. When I put mine on backwards there, let's do it the other way here. There you go. Sorry, you really can't see what I'm doing. There we go, right about there. All right. Yeah, since I did that with the camera viewfinder, it's gotten a little cooler. And then another sub step. So keep them like that. And then we'll come in here and do this. I still need that right there. And I need that for a tutorial, but it's not widely available yet. So you will not see that. And I'm going to be fair about that too. I mean, a lot of these new parts that I've been getting in these sets, they haven't really been released yet. And I'm not going to be mean and say, oh guys, I came out with a new tutorial for parts that you can't buy yet. Because that's, you know, that's being kind of unfair there. So I'm not going to do that. And then I don't know how far that can go in. We'll just shove that all the way in, huh? I think that's as far as it goes in there. There we go. And it goes like this. And we gotta do the same thing for this one over here. I think these go in those holes. Okay. All right. Put this one over here because that one's going to go on the other side here. And the light is supposed to go towards the grabbers. And if everything came out well, this should just fit right in there. And it should. There we go. And I'll do the same one over here. I don't know how critical these things are, but You know, you don't know, so just pretend like it is, or just assume that it is. And now I can skip a bunch of pages. All right. Okay, this is not a mirror. And this is a bedside build, of course. I need to fix up for bed. It's like 2 something in the morning. And, well, that's how it goes. Okay, and then we got one of these little printed hazard things. Yeah, and eventually I'm working on getting that light. Like I said, I haven't had time. It's, you know, kind of sad that I'm newly swamped with this stuff and I can't do any more about it. Let me flip this thing back over. And let me put this big thing in the front here. May want to hold it up underneath it a little bit here. And then that's pretty good. Huh? Pretty solid around that, huh? That's really cool looking. I like that. And then we have something that goes on the top here. There we go, but I don't know about that back there. Well, that's where it's supposed to hang off at, huh? I want to make sure there's not 2 of these here. All right, well, first we got to build the body of it here. So I think this part is done. And now we're going to build a small little sub. Very basic primary colors they're using for this. And, you know, if they use basic gray in here, it makes the build kind of boring. So I'm kind of thankful that they don't, you know, like I do with the basic colors because they're very common for me. But when Lego does it, they're kind of color coding stuff. Or it's pieces they just have produced at the time, but it just makes the build a bit more fun. I do it just to minimize part lots, so you don't have to go in and have to hunt for like a bunch of parts in a lot. And then I lost that dome piece, that little blue one. Alright, not in the hands. The manual didn't need it. So where did that go? Because that is going to be something I can't just replace right now. There it is, right there on the bottom. Alright, well, I was like, uh-oh, because I don't have any of these. I have, I think, a transparent pink. But I don't have anything like that. I think that's just a little camera sub. Okay. Printed piece. Yeah, so despite the fact that the color scheme on this wasn't too exciting, you know, okay, we're going to do it like this. We're going to have to mirror some stuff here. Okay. Jay, you should just take your time on these to stick it to them. I should. I try not to be too biased on it and just try to enjoy the build as much as I can. But, you know, I'm using these as my guinea pigs, so I can hopefully make the quality on the reviews and the tutorials better. So that's what I'm planning on doing here. I did read a comment, though, about my camping tutorials, my the campground, and well, I've been getting a lot of comments, but I'd like to see more and more of the ones like, hey, my kids and I like watching your videos, they inspire us to build more stuff. I always like reading those, because then I know that there's a family out there who's enjoying this stuff with their children, not just having the child plopped in front of the iPad and here, watch this. You know? And at least he or she is spending time with their parents instead of just being kind of, you know, I understand some parents work a lot too. All right. Oh, there was a post. Be careful, guys and gals. There's been a post about some of these colors breaking, like black and greenish blue. And I'm hoping that's not a case, because if Lego starts getting brittle all together and starts falling apart, that's it. You know. Okay. And we take it like this. Of course, I did the wrong side here. I think this is supposed to go here. Camera goes on the top. Put this one over here. Okay. And I think this might have fell out of a bag and I put it in there. And then it goes inside of here. All right. And it shows you're done with all this. So, and then you can connect it right here. So this can be connected here, but hold the phone. Oh, I'm silly. You know what I forgot to do? Put that in there. That's like, where does that even go? So, well, okay, that just fell apart. So basically, this is meant to hook onto this here. Well, you get the idea, something like that. It connects to the mothership. And then this, when you're done with it, goes inside the compartment. So just set that right in there. And there you go. If it's nice and snug, you need to pull it out, just do that. So does this close? Indeed it does. So far this seems pretty good for what it is. And this is what we have remaining right here. And for me, that's not too bad. And this concludes Building Guide 1. Okay, now we're going to move to bag 7 because I believe that is done. So now we're going to be doing this. And this is completely different than what we've been working on. Still the same set though. You can tell by the colors it's something a little different. So I think we're doing this little thing here. So we got 2 more minifigures we're going to have to kind of barrel through. And I need the bolt bin. Okay. And I thought there was a shark in there. Oh, there he is on the floor. Alright. So, let's start putting him together. And I think I've seen the shark before, not with all the graphics. I think I have some that are just plain gray, but this has this around it. Yeah, I think they're the same shark. And yes, you could practically throw a whole minifigure in there. So you can take the undercut girl and throw her in there, and she could practically fit in there if she didn't have the wrench. She got out just in time. She had to fall on the floor. But anyways, there's the shark. And then now we're going to have to do the boring stuff, which is the figures. So let's start pulling out anything that may be of minifigure based, and that's what we're going to be doing. And yeah, I kind of want to get on these other videos, but right now I want to get this one filmed. This will give me 14 out of, let me make sure here. It doesn't really tell me. I think it's just one minifigure. Huh. And he's got the flippers. After this, we still got one more bag left to do. And let's see here. Yeah, because this guy's got different hair. Okay, it's a bunch of pages just full of minifigures, so we're gonna... Sometimes I'll just rush through them real quick. I forgot to put his oxygen tank on. It says you can take all this off and stuff like that, but you know what? I'm going to keep it all on there. Most people will do that anyways. And if we want them to dress normally, well, guess what? I'd make an office building and throw them in there. And this is the wig that's supposed to go on this guy. It's like a curly crop with a taper. We don't need that. Probably need that though. So all these big giant parts we need, and we're messing around with the minifigure stuff. And if you think you're done with him, no. We're actually going to make a flashlight and a camera. So yeah, or a flashlight and the metal detector. So you're far from finishing him up right now. Okay, and that's pretty much what he is. I'll put it like that so he won't fall down. And you can take all that off if you want and make him normal. Well, I'm not going to do that. Just like with the blue-haired gal. I'm going to give her the feisty look. And then I can always use different colored wigs too. And she's got the oxygen tank, at least now I read it. And she has a flashlight too, or an underwater lamp, or whatever you want to call it. See, you can put that on her, or you can use this one too. Makes her look a little more badass. And then, let's see here. So I'm trying to get this thumbnail done and trying to cut all the nasty parts. When I do the screenshots, it's up against this really dingy wall, and kind of got to thinking more and more. I'd like to get me I have a green screen, but thinking if I want to keep it white, what do? I just use a green screen. So like I said, I'm just using these as little guinea pigs. Well, I got well, that's how they go on. Okay, so we're going to put this on her. And then I think that's it with her. Now she's got the flippers. We got to find more stuff for her. He used to give you extra flippers. Now Lego's kind of done away with that. He used to get like 1 or 2 extra flippers per set, but not anymore. As long as they have their helmets on, this gal here won't be able to give them any undercuts, so that's it for those. Well, maybe she did because the wigs are right there. And okay, now we can do the fun stuff, just the big things. All right, so let's get a go in here. Yeah, but seeing a lot of these guys submitting sets and that the parts are breaking, like the black, that's got me worried because, you know, I'm just like everyone else. I put a lot of time and money into this hobby, and just to have stuff break, even if they give this stuff to me, I don't want it to break. You know, that's I've seen some guys where they'll trash this stuff, you know, literally destroy it, and I'm not going to do that. And here's a little tidbit. You get these two pieces right here. These are actually a complementary of one another, so you put that in, it makes a great little slide. So okay, and you have to make something that slides in there. I kind of use these sometimes for my campers. These are definitely for the sliding stairs. So that's what I usually try to do. Yeah, I've been looking around for places to visit, you know, in terms of trip-wise. One of my buddies wants me to go across country to visit him. I'm like, yeah, I don't know. And make another one that goes on the other side here. So I'm not sure what this is yet. You know, what does this do? Maybe it's something to keep the kids entertained. We don't know. And don't worry, we'll be going through this really quick. It'll be a really quick build because I'm starting to get a little tired, and I just want to, like I said, this will be set number 14 out of 22 that I have to review. These are different. They don't have the studs in the middle. I think they're meant to be some kind of an airplane, like rear wings or something for like a large jet or something, like a passenger plane. Well, that's what they look like to me anyways. All right, I can't see it, so... Oh, there it is. It's hiding behind that. Okay. Make two of these. So it looks like it's just like some old ship or something down here. So basically what you're watching on this channel is almost every day has been at least a set build or review. And then these go right here. It means this thing here will probably slide real easily now. Oh, I admit those don't go there. It's like looking at the manual, I was like, what am I doing? That's how it's supposed to go. And then that's just, not sure what that does though. We'll have to find out. One of these, and is that even with the corner? Okay, yeah, it is. All right, and the back part needs a floorboard, and I use these for floorboards. Except that's off-centered, but there we go. That. And Hard to say. It looks more like we're building some kind of a structure more than a old broken down barge under the water. Okay, now you got to put these in there. These big mountain parts. So I guess it's meant to be like kind of partially in a mountain, underground terrain or underwater terrain. I don't know if I ever need to get some of those from my campground. I don't think I'll ever would use them. These look like they go here. And we have one clip. Okay, glad they had an arrow because I would not have seen that down there, except, okay, that does go there, okay. Oh, we got one more minifigure. This guy. So you're gonna have to piece together a whole skeleton here. I did a half-baked tutorial one time on what makes a Lego skeleton, and it was meant to be as a part exploration for Halloween, and boy, it blew up. Well, for me anyways. And trying to find out which way that goes on there. There we go. And then we need the pirate hat. Turn that around, and then he needs a sword. Let's trying to get it to rotate around. There we go. It's supposed to be like that. And he oh, wait a minute. We're not supposed to put the legs on him. Okay, don't put the legs on this guy. He just sits here legless. And he clips in here. So he's fixed. So he will not come out and make a mess. But he is holding a gem here. Forgot to put that in his hand. Well, we may have to take him out. I forgot to put that in his hand. It's kind of hard to see at your angle, and I need to see it more than you do right now. I'm going to have to probably pop this guy out, or which I'm going to have to. It's like I said, I hate dealing with the minifigure stuff because it just, you get the big hands and you're trying to put stuff in the minifigure hand, it's almost impossible. And the hats fall off and stuff, but it's basically what it's supposed to look like. And then we'll put him back down in here and have him take a nap. These, like I said, he's fixed. He just sits in there. And we have two legs. One leg right here, just randomly sitting here, and then one leg down here. Boy, this thing is just being a turd. I'm going to pop that out real quick. It'd be easier dealing with it without that in the way. Like now, I can't even get him to rotate back. It would have been easier if they just put them in there before they put that in there, huh? And then there's a gold ingot laying right here. Okay. We got a red one. Goes right there. And then you have another one of these hollow studs, and they have an ingot kind of crisscrossed on this one right here, like that. So now Looks a little better. Okay. Turn that around. And then now we start adding slopes here. You know, somebody hired me for a job, and they want, which is kind of considered an older language now. You know, usually I'll do Python or something like that, or nodes. But this guy wanted me to write up his server-side scripting for his web server in PHP. And I'm like, wow, I haven't done PHP programming in a long time, and it's similar to C++, but I was like, wow, I'm literally just kind of baffled, because a lot of people don't even request PHP. And we're like, do you know how to do nodes? Or do you know how to can you write me up a custom Java backend? I'm like, I can do that. And then like PHP, maybe he has old scripts or something that run with it. I don't know. At the end, though, you don't know the difference between what's being ran, but on the user end. But it's just kind of hard to believe that, you know. This whole thing is kind of like a duplicate here. And you put this right here, and we got to do the same thing on the other side here. You notice at the beginning I always rant in my videos, and towards the end I'm kind of quiet. Okay, it goes like that. Yeah, I don't know if there's getting to be more adults getting into this now. You know, some get stuck on certain builds, or they don't know where to start doing freehand stuff called mock building. And BASIS stands for my own creation. You know, where do you start? Like, how do you start a build? And the only advice I can give you is you can look at inspiration, or just grab some bricks and just start building, just doodle. How I learned, I didn't really look at anybody else's stuff. I'd look at something in real life thinking, looks like that'd be an interesting build. How do I approach it? How do I make it look real, you know? And then I would make a rough copy of it. It would just be random colors. And then after that, I would replace it with more suitable colors. Oh, wait a minute. These are supposed to go here. It's like, well, how am I going to put this in there? But you would just guess. And I remember having a fan one time tell me, well, Jay, I'm building stuff, but things keep falling apart. What do I do? Oh, I mean, I still made a mistake. I'm like, I got to take this all apart here. Let me take that out. And like, I'm taking stuff apart constantly. Am I doing something wrong? Let's just take it all down then. And I'm like, no, you're doing it right. You know, just like this, except I'm trying to follow the instructions here. And I'm like, you can build things your way. Doesn't matter if it's correct or not. Okay, hold on. Now I really made a mistake, because when I put this back in here, oh, this one's missing here. But there is some adults out there who get confused on this stuff. Like, I'm messing up right now trying to figure out how this is supposed to go together. And now I'm kind of lost here. Let me go back. And, you know, this type of stuff happens too. When I'm doing mock building, it's freehand. I make so many, you know, errors when I build things. Okay. And it's supposed to be like that. And that kind of issue, when you get to stuff like this, I'm following somebody else's blueprint. And this is a way to start in building things, but in order to really get into and experience mock building, you need to do it firsthand. You need to dive right on in and build just head on. And I'm going to be honest with you, if you get into it, and I'm just telling you, I'm going to warn you, you're not going to build something you want exactly the first try. I've been doing this now for, I don't even know how long, you know, it's been a long time. And I don't even get my builds done right the first time. I mean, I just kind of scratch my head thinking, I can't build this house a certain way. It's just not, something's missing, you know, it just doesn't look good. And then I'll go back through it. Boy, I'm really making mistakes as I'm getting a little tired here, but that's what you do. Some things I always tell fans is that if you are building something you are getting tired, you can walk away from it. No one's going to judge you. So let's say you're building something and you just can't figure it out. Walk away. Hey, no one's going to judge you for that. And the reason why I say walk away is because sometimes when you're cooking dinner or you're doing the laundry or making the bed, sometimes that idea will just pop right in your head. There you go. You've already solved the problem. And that's what you do. Oh, these were mirrors. Okay, well, let's do the next one then. But that's essentially how it is, even with me. I just build from my imagination. You know, when you get older, you kind of lose that. Most adults lose that ability to just see things, you know, like creating a piece of art, you know, out of something like this, for example. You know. And there's nothing wrong with messing up. Well, Jay, I can't get it right the first time. So, I don't get things right the first time. I'm bluntly tell them, hey, just keep playing with it. A day or two, they'll message me later, oh my goodness, you're right, I actually got it figured out. I'm like, yeah. I said, now back that idea up and preserve it. And oh, it goes right there. Okay, I'll show you. These go in here. I was looking at this, and I'll show you how I got confused here in a bit. And you got to lock those in. Best thing is attach it here first and just wiggle these in here. I was looking at this. Couldn't really tell right here. It's like, well, how do you expect me to connect it there? And I was so lost. You know what I forgot to do? Got to put the studs in here. Oh, the studs go in the back here. Well, what am I going to do? I'm going to peel that off and just back butter. I remember somebody years ago on YouTube would make fun of me because I would make mistakes all the time. Call me out, you know, call me names, cuss me out, and all that stuff. And I'm like, okay, taking this a little seriously, aren't we? And something here is not fitting right. This fits in like this, or am I just not? Oh, hard to tell at this angle here. I'm going to snap it in here first, and I'm just going to push these little things in here. There we go. So it looks like there's a boat piece kind of like stuck in the water there. And that's it for bag 7. And this is what we have remaining. That's not terribly bad. Okay, now we are going to wrap this up. And here we have bag 8. And it looks like mostly small stuff. So we know how long that's going to take. We know how long that's going to take us. It looks like now we're decorating this thing here. So let's start decorating things. And there's a lot of little pieces and trinkets and stuff in here you can add to this. So it's got some color. And let's see here. See if we can breeze through this real quick here. And this thing goes right here. Okay, we need one of these, and the second one goes right here. Now, if this is some rocky terrain, I'm not expecting this to be the same on the other side, so, I mean, it'd be kind of silly for the designers to do that. And I'm kind of confused here. The best thing to do is start right here. It's like right above here. They have this here. They have this one kind of tucked in here, right in there. You got to push that down right in there. It's tucked in there. It'll fit in there. And then we use some glow-in-the-dark fish. Let's see if we can get one of these little boogers to light up. They are lighting up, but you can't see it on here. And yes, I am goofing off. You can't really tell. But these are the glow-in-the-dark ones. So if you had a medium to high wattage backlight or a black light, you could make these glow. So far everything is fixed in here, you know, except for something that's kind of rattling. But I think it's that one thing in the middle. And okay, I see what we're doing here. And I was like, when I was doing the unboxing, I'm like, why do we have some of these purple horns for? Like, what's the point of these? Well, they have them as some kind of like little plants for underwater. So just be careful pushing those down. You don't want to bend those. And then there's some good inspiration in here too. What I'm going to do is I'm going to shove this one here first, and then the other one on the other side of it. Right there. Then we'll stick this. It looks like you just have some plant life growing out of that. Not too bad. And we need one of these. And it goes right here. I think this high end goes over here. That doesn't feel so secure. And got a piece of coral, like some kind of coral wreath type stuff. And looks like we have a piece. The stud flower goes right here. and then it goes. Well, okay, hold on. This is not supposed to be. This is supposed to be here, and this piece is supposed to be here. So kind of one's in front of the other. And you're not done yet. We got another one of these here that we got to make. And almost the same as the first. Okay, this one here goes right in here. It's starting to look pretty cool, huh? And then have one of these, and we have a couple of these white stems, so just shove that right in there. Never seen white flower stems before until I looked in here, and I'm like, what would you use that for? And they have it right here. All right. And stacking two of these on top of one another, and then we have this piece here. These are pretty cool. I need those, but yeah, what is this? Some kind of a jellyfish? It's hard to say. And then we have a blue parabola that just sits here. So I think this is supposed to be a little jellyfish or something that's kind of floating around there. And then now we're going to be working on the other side of this right here. I'm going to make 3 of those little horn things. That's why I wasn't kidding. This last bag, this is pretty much what you're doing, is all small stuff. I kid you not. Does it go there? Okay. Couldn't see it from my angle. All I was seeing was these here, and there was no studs right here. And it's like, well, where would that go? So when you're building this, you know, and then the last one goes here. And now we can move to step 46 and we can continue on. So yeah, this is not too terribly bad. This is pretty cool actually, especially if you haven't been scuba diving or anything. I've never been scuba diving before, so I have no clue what that looks like in person. So these are different. You get 4 of these glow-in-the-dark fish. It'd be nice if it had these glow-in-the-dark, but I don't know. I'll have to get a black light eventually, and maybe do that in the initial review. Well, one way to test it is to check it now. No, these don't glow in the dark. I was hoping they would, but no, they didn't. Okay, put that there, and stud flower right down here, and this goes right here. These are not going to stay on too long. You're going to have to be careful with them. And then we have another piece of seaweed. We have plenty of this stuff here. So just make one, stick it right above this one slope right here. Well, that's obviously not going in like I thought. Oh, it goes right here. But that's the only way to get it to fit in there is by turning it. Oh, wait a minute. How silly me. Okay, it's supposed to be like that. I was like, well, that's the only way to get it to fit in there. I got it to work, and it looks like we're making another jellyfish, so I need to find one more of those things. Yeah, you can see now the parts are going down pretty fast. We hadn't even got to the treasure chest yet. This one here goes right here. So initially when I do the view on this thing, I think what we're going to do is I'm just going to breeze through it. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time. Back in the old days, I used to do, when I did reviews, I'd literally just analyze each piece. And then when a few of my viewers said it was just kind of getting too slow to do those, can I speed them up? So I would cut them out, never done them since. So I stopped. And then that's it. You know, I never went back and did them or anything like that. And there's the other jellyfish. These are different colors. And okay, where do these go? Okay, they go right here. And we got another glow-in-the-dark fish. Yeah, I don't know what I did with my black light. I'm gonna have to try to find it. I need to get me an LED version of it. And okay, let's start with the horn thing first. Yeah, I need to sit down and watch Fear of the Walking Dead. It came out to bring out new episodes. I just got to get off my rump and actually start watching that. And yeah, I'm a Walking Dead fan. Zombie movies are always fun to watch. And you never know. Stuff could happen one day. I remember the 1960s home. Remember the gun closet? That was for the zombie apocalypse. A lot of my mocks that I have planned out, sometimes, you know, we'll have a certain plan for them and stuff like that. And this is supposed to go even with these right here. But I think what I'm going to do to be safe, I'm just going to kind of grab underneath this here and really mush that in there. There we go. Just kind of mush that in there. But I've been watching The Walking Dead since it came out. And kind of, I wish Lego would have just got into the whole Walking Dead thing, but you know how they are. They have plenty of Disney sets. Well, that just broke off. Why don't we just put these on there and stick them in there like that? Lego would have been better. I think that's just meant for it to be kind of floating around in there. I'm going to take that one off and put this one in there like that. And it's just kind of, you know, I remember I would get some parents would message me, go, why do you have guns in there? I don't want my kids seeing that. I'm thinking it's part of a larger, and I explained, it was like, this is going to be a part of a larger storyline. A lot of people don't know there's a storyline on my stuff, but and I just kind of quickly aborted it because I was getting constant comments about why, so I just stopped. You know, I thought, well, time to ruin the storyline. Everybody wants the spoilers, and It's like, you know, ooh. Okay, we're gonna have to be careful with all the seaweed on this. This stuff's starting to get all kind of crazy up here. But I was kind of just like, you know, okay, now we can put the treasure chest in here. And I just kind of stopped, you know, and 2 ingots go inside. And yes, it sits backwards. Reminds me of one of those hidden treasures and treasure chests and those sunken ships in Minecraft. But some people just want everything to be friendly, and I thought this is supposed to be a part of a zombie apocalypse, but I just kind of gave up on it. And that's kind of sad though too, because that's like, I have to explain myself 5 million times. It's kind of like, this is why I'm doing it. It has nothing to do with gun violence or anything. It's just meant to be for that kind of perspective on things. So we're going to have to take these poor sharks here, and there's 2 of them, so you're going to have to do this twice and do that. It's like the 1950s home had the fallout shelter, and if any of you have watched the backcountry camping theme, those are actually supposed to be related. I bet you that big shark's going to attach right to this. I haven't even looked at the building guide yet, but I have a feeling he is. So sad the paper's already being delivered. It's almost 4 in the morning. But some people just don't want that violent stuff, which I don't blame them, but I want to put like a nice fun, wow, a nice little fun storyline. I don't want my kids watching something violent. Well, it's not violent, it's just zombie movies. So I decided just to bail on that idea. I'm thinking about doing a storyline strictly on Patreon, since you have to be 18 and over to view that one. Sorry for those out there who like that stuff, but I have to do it. Well, that's not too bad. And I have a feeling exactly he fits right in there. All right, so that looks like that would fit in there. Okay, so the seaweed here, this is where he lives at, and he just shoots out at you. Well, he comes right up, so you got to be careful. So you can leave this jaw open if you wanted to. That's playable, and then we got the magical hand from outer space showing you can turn that, which we already figured that much. And I forgot to put a bunch of these little green things on here, but still, you know, it's this type of set here is pretty cool. I'm looking at playability and, you know, an imaginative play and stuff like that, and this set's pretty much gonna get you covered. So this goes right in here. All right, let me just move that out of my way and take that out, and then it goes right here. Okay. And that's it. All right, and then we just need to pick up our extra pieces. Not a whole lot of this stuff, except for the white stem, but I pretty much have all that stuff. And now we're gonna just do a really quick tour of everything. Kind of get everything backed up here so you can see it all in one shot. No, surprised I had anybody complain about the quality yet on these. These are just meant to be rough. Okay, so let's start with this since it's already here. So obviously you can have your divers come in here and take pictures of the shark. He's supposed to hide all the way in there. If somebody gets too close, he's going to go right after him, which is kind of cool. So you can even have his jaw open too. Feels kind of stiff though, but still it's not too bad. And I like the greenery and the fish, and that's how it works in the back. They give you a portion of a boat and some terrain. Got the treasure chest and stuff like that in there, so it's not too bad. And the submarine. So obviously you got the rear propellers and stuff. This stuff actually spins. That's cool. And you got access to some cupboards in here. So I don't know if anything else would come off on it. I don't think you can. So I think that's just meant to stay on there. And of course the inside here, you can open this up, pop this out, just have that. And then remember the arm down here that you can hook onto stuff for the mothership. And not too bad there. It's kind of wiggly. And you have access to this in here. I think it's supposed to be some kind of a controller, but that's obviously just kind of weird. It just seems kind of plain in there. And I think this top piece comes off too. I think you open this up and you're meant to pop this off like that. So as you can see inside, and I don't, the light's taking a vacation. It's got some detail in there, but it is playable, so you can put your figures. You can put Miss Undercut in there, so she can fix the ship and make sure these guys are not breaking things and all sorts of stuff. So you can put this back on there, and these hands do move right here. Just squeeze these little things, and then they'll open up like that. So you can reach down here, and let's see here. Well, sure, you can just hold on and just do that, and there you go. Somebody's drowning. You can come to the rescue here, and and then you got this thing here, which is some kind of underwater mech suit, and yeah, I mean, it's pretty much what it is. Everything here is playable. Nothing's kind of dingy or anything like that. This is meant to be played with. Like, what you do is you open this up here, and we can just take, like the doctor, you can pretty much set him in there. You just need to remove the syringe, or just do this. Maybe we can leave the syringe in and close it up. It doesn't close up really well, but almost looks like a Buzz Lightyear, just in different colors. And you can just do this and have fun. Yeah, you know what? This is not a bad set. When I looked at the parts, I was kind of, like, ugh. I mean, I was looking at it thinking this is just kind of boring looking. But now after building it, now this is the thing that, well, some things are already falling apart. But now looking at it now, I'm already having second thoughts on this. So let's dive right into the rough review. play value, and obviously everything is playable here. You can have a lot of fun with this. I mean, there's plenty of things here. And I'm kind of glad now, and this is what I've heard, is that they got a new Lego City set designer. You can obviously tell because these city sets are a little more expensive and they're almost about the quality of a mock. And I'll tell you, more people, including myself, will actually buy stuff like this. And the reason being is because it's pretty much done. These are getting to be more and more high-def models than anything else. So I'm looking at fully playable. Okay, this is like more like an intermediate build. It wasn't hard, and it was very enjoyable, which leads to the build experience. Pretty good. I mean, I enjoyed putting this together because I just split it up into 2 nights. But as you can tell, if I'm tired, I really want to see what this looked like when it was done. So yeah, it's a nice model, and I had fun putting it together, which brings to build quality. For the most part, everything's fine. Some things, I don't know. Some things just seem a bit average and above average. I'd say you're learning some new snot methods here, which is good. I'd say the build quality is probably about above average with this one, more and more. It just, maybe a part may flake off here and there, but this is meant to be played with, which kind of leaks up with the build quality. Now, could you drop this in a city? You could. This, probably not so much here. This is probably just like some extra little thing here. It's cool. But this and this you could. I don't know where you'd use a submarine for. Maybe have this set off your dock or something like that, and have these guys work on it. But I would say, yeah, this would be city ready. This is probably not so much. You can probably finish it up, which leads to mock value. Like I had mentioned, this is pretty close to being a mock. So I would say, there's very little to do with this. Okay. Now, for my score on this set. Well, before we get on the score, what about family build? Is this a family-friendly build? Some of the stuff you can break down like this. This right here is a self-contained build. This right here is in the last manual. This is part of this manual here. But I'm sure you can divide all this up. So you can have one person build this stuff and the other person can build this. Not too bad. So we get our 6 minifigures, we get extra wigs, and all sorts of stuff. So I'd say my final score on this is probably had a difficulty with the stickers. Some parts of the instructions were kind of hard to follow. Not the part where I wasn't paying attention. And I'm pretty hard on grading, but I'd say this set's probably a 9.3, 9.4. Just basically because the stickers were a bit challenging for me in a bit. And some parts in the manual were hard to see in case you have a 3D, and then the shark comes off this little sliding thing. They should have just put him on a plate or something in there, but maybe the head needs to be down. But for the most part, though, it is pretty cool. So I'm going to say a 9.3. Now, let's talk about the price of the set. And is it worth $109.99? That's a good question. It's a really good high quality model in my opinion. So do I think it's worth it for 845 bricks? I'm leaning towards maybe on the high end, yes. It's a bit pricey for what you're getting. But you are getting some nice minifigures in here. And you got this shark thing with the treasure, and you got a submarine that's, at least exterior-wise, is pretty much finished off. But the most important thing is it's playable, and it possibly can be built with another partner. So I would say, yeah, on the higher end. I first thought estimated this set would be about $95, but yeah, now I can, it's $110, but hey, but you get some pretty unique pieces, but a lot of the stuff is medium to small with some big pieces. But for me, I think it's a good set, but tell me what you think of this set. I enjoy putting it together, and it's a playable model. I mean, there's nothing else to say about it, but I want to hear your opinions on this set.